There's a moment that happens to a lot of men in their 40s, and most don't even realize it. It usually happens late at night. The house is quiet. The kids are asleep. Your wife is inside scrolling through Netflix trying to find something nobody will actually watch, and you're standing in the driveway for no reason at all. You look at the car, maybe the bigger house, maybe the expensive watch you finally bought because after years of grinding, you felt like you earned it. And for a second you think, damn, I think I'm finally doing pretty good. You make more money than ever before. Your career finally feels stable. People respect you. On paper, life looks successful. But here's the uncomfortable truth nobody talks about. For many men, their 40s are the exact decade where financial mistakes become permanent. Not your 20s. Not when you were broke, eating cheap food and stressing over rent. Not even your 30s when everything felt chaotic. Your 40s. The decade that looks like winning is often the decade that quietly destroys wealth. Because in your 20s, mistakes are cheap. In your 40s, mistakes cost retirement. And the worst part, most men never even realize they're trapped until it's too late. Today, we're breaking down the biggest financial traps men fall into in their 40s, the ones nobody warns you about. And trust me, some of these are hiding in plain sight. Trap number 1, the I finally made it illusion. Let me ask you something. What happens when your income finally starts growing? You spend more, not because you're irresponsible, because it feels logical. You struggled for years. You sacrificed. You delayed gratification. So now, you upgrade. Better restaurants, better vacations, better car, bigger home. You tell yourself, I deserve this. And honestly, you probably do. But here's the dangerous part. Your brain starts confusing high income with wealth. And they are not the same thing. A man making 6 figures can still be broke. Why? Because income only matters if you keep part of it. You know what's crazy? A lot of people in their 40s are making the most money they've ever made while secretly being financially fragile. If the paycheck stopped tomorrow, everything collapses. The expensive lifestyle, the expensive lifestyle, the subscriptions, the debt, the image. Because the lifestyle expanded at the same speed as the salary, and that creates one of the most dangerous financial traps of all. You look rich, but you're not financially free. And once that lifestyle becomes normal, downgrading feels painful. Which leads to trap number 2. And this one destroys more money than people realize. Trap number 2, the status purchase. There's something that happens to a lot of men in their 40s. They stop buying things for utility and start buying things for identity. The luxury SUV, the oversized truck, the dream car, the expensive toy sitting in the garage. And look, this isn't about saying you should never enjoy money. That's not the point. The problem is when purchases become emotional rewards. You tell yourself, I worked hard, I earned this, I only live once. And suddenly a monthly payment becomes normal. Then another one, then another. Here's the scary part nobody calculates. It's not just what the purchase costs today. It's what that money could have become. A $70,000 vehicle isn't just $70,000. That money invested over time, it could become hundreds of thousands later. That's the hidden cost nobody sees. The future wealth you quietly traded away for temporary status. And the painful truth? Most people aren't impressed anyway. Everyone is too busy worrying about their own bills. But wait, cars aren't even the biggest money leak for men in their 40s. This next one feels responsible, which makes it even more dangerous. Trap number 3, spending for your kids without a limit. This one is sensitive because every parent wants to give their kids opportunities, better schools, sports, activities, experiences. You want them to have what you didn't. That's normal. But somewhere along the way, a lot of parents start financially sacrificing their future for outcomes that may never happen. Thousands spent on travel team, elite programs, private coaching, competitive everything, because maybe, just maybe, your kid becomes exceptional. And look, some kids absolutely do, but most don't. And nobody wants to say that out loud, because emotionally, it feels wrong. You don't want to be the parent who didn't believe, so you keep paying and paying and paying. Meanwhile, retirement gets ignored. Investments get delayed. Savings slow down. And here's the brutal reality. You can borrow money for college. You cannot borrow money for retirement. That sentence alone changes everything. Helping your kids matters, but destroying your financial future to do it, that creates pressure on them later too. Because eventually, guess who they'll need to support? You. And most parents never think that far ahead. Now, this next trap? It disguises itself as being financially smart, but it quietly drains wealth for decades. Trap number 4, bad financial advice dressed as opportunity. At some point in your 40s, someone shows up with an amazing financial strategy, usually confident, well-dressed, sounds smart, knows the right buzzwords: tax advantage, passive income, wealth strategy, exclusive opportunity, and suddenly you feel like you're getting insider information. But here's a lesson that will save you a fortune: complex doesn't always mean better. In fact, a lot of financial products exist because they make money for someone else, not because they're the best move for you. High-fee investments, complicated insurance products, fancy strategies that sound impressive but quietly underperform simple investing. The problem is ego. People think, if it's simple, it can't be effective. But wealth is usually boring. Consistent investing, patience, avoiding stupid mistakes. That's it. No secret formula, no hidden millionaire hack. And speaking of expensive mistakes, we need to talk about something men almost never calculate correctly. Trap number 5, the expensive hobby problem. Every man eventually wants something fun: a boat, a motorcycle, golf memberships, luxury travel, weekend toys. Again, nothing wrong with enjoying life. But there's a difference between enjoying money and financing an identity, because expensive hobbies rarely stay expensive only once. They come with hidden costs: maintenance, insurance, upgrades, repairs, storage, memberships, fuel. Suddenly, the thing you bought for fun starts quietly draining cash every month. And here's the truth nobody admits: sometimes we buy things hoping they'll make us feel younger, more successful, more alive. Because your 40s can feel weird. You're not young anymore, but you're not old either. So people start chasing feelings. And companies know exactly how to sell that dream: freedom, adventure, success. But financial freedom? That's the real luxury. And that brings us to one of the biggest silent killers of wealth. This next one might offend some people. Trap number 6, trying to beat the market. There's something fascinating about men and investing. The moment we make a little money, we suddenly think we're financial genius. One good stock pick, now you feel unstoppable. You start watching charts, listening to experts, chasing trends, crypto, hot stocks, whatever everyone is talking about. And look, sometimes people win for a while. But here's the reality: most people are terrible at timing the market. Emotion destroys logic. You buy when everyone is excited. You panic when things fall. You chase hype. You sell too early. And over decades, those bad decisions compound. The biggest investing advantage isn't intelligence, it's discipline. Can you stay consistent when things are boring? Can you ignore hype? Can you stop trying to get rich fast? Because in your 40s, you don't have unlimited time anymore. Bad decisions hit harder, and that leads directly into another trap nobody sees coming. Trap number 7, the bigger house trap. You know this one. The family grows. The house feels smaller. You start thinking, maybe we should upgrade. Better kitchen, better neighborhood, more space. And suddenly, you restart the financial clock. A brand new mortgage, bigger monthly payments, higher taxes, higher maintenance, more pressure. The dangerous part: people assume bigger house equals better life. But sometimes, it just means bigger stress. And here's a scary thought: a lot of people in their 40s accidentally trap themselves into working way longer than planned, just to maintain a lifestyle they barely enjoy. Think about that. You wanted freedom, but your upgrades quietly stole it. And now, there's one final trap. This one ties everything together. And honestly, it might be the most dangerous one of all. Trap number 8, I'll catch up later. This is the lie men tell themselves in their 40s. I'll invest harder later. I still have time. My best earning years are ahead. I'll figure retirement out eventually. And listen, maybe you can catch up. But compound interest doesn't care about intentions. Time matters a lot. The money you invest today has a completely different future than the money you invest 10 years from now. Every delay costs more than people realize, and that's what makes your 40s so important. You still have time, but not unlimited time, which means every financial decision suddenly matters more. The good news: you don't need perfection. You don't need to become obsessed with money. You don't need to stop enjoying life. You just need awareness. Because avoiding bad decisions is often more powerful than making genius ones. You don't need to double your income. You need to stop leaking wealth. And honestly, that might be the biggest lesson of this entire video. Most men don't fail financially because they're lazy, or stupid, or irresponsible. They fail because life slowly becomes expensive, one reasonable decision at a time. A nicer car, a bigger mortgage, one extra payment, one emotional purchase, one delayed investment, and suddenly, 20 years disappear. So here's the real question. Are you actually building wealth right now, or just building an expensive lifestyle that looks successful?